Josh Smith with GottaBeMobile.com. Today we're taking a look at some of the first Galaxy S4 cases to arrive in the US, but unfortunately, even though they only cost about $5 a piece, they're not worth the price. Why? Well, as it turns out, these are made off of some leaked designs. So here we have a Galaxy S3, and you'll notice it looks pretty small in here, even though this is not what the Galaxy S4 will look like or measure up to. We do expect that it will be shorter or smaller than the Galaxy Note 2, which, oddly enough, fits almost perfectly in this case. So here we have a couple different styles. Now, some of these hard cases are a little smaller, but with the Galaxy S4 we're expecting about a 5-inch screen, which will grow a little bit, but it's not going to be to the size where either of these cases would fit. They're both too tall and too wide. And you ask, how does this happen? How do we get these hard plastic or silicone gel cases ahead of release? And well, case manufacturers in China or resellers in the US hear about leaked specs and they want to be first to market because you can make some money selling these cheap cases before the big players get in the game. And odds are this little one here probably cost about 50 cents to make, and we might be looking at 70 to 90 cents for each of these. The sticker price on all of these is $30, so that's a pretty hefty markup, especially if you're selling them at a retail store in the mall. The combined cost of these with shipping online was about $30, and we really wouldn't pay that for any reason other than to check out. We thought it would be a little bit closer to the finished design. But so that's how we get these cases ahead of time, and sometimes we see that the dimensions that are leaked look just right and we get something that fits. Other times we end up with something like this, where even when we go from this 4.8-inch screen to about a 5-inch screen, we don't expect to grow that much, especially not that tall. And it's the same story for these other case designs. So even though this might be similar to what a Galaxy S4 will look like, these cases won't fit. That's why we tell people not to buy cases until the actual device comes out. Head over to GottaBeMobile.com, check out more about the Galaxy S4.